What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope you're all having a great day. Don't forget, it is Thursday, week number 9 already in the NFL season. This is the halfway point. Literally, half of the season is over, and there's not many opportunities left for the Cowboys to right the ship. Although we do have Kyler Murray coming to town on Monday Night Football, where Kyler Murray, throughout his high school, collegiate, and NFL career, is 9-0. He owns that place. He has been fantastic, so maybe it's time that he gets lost. And this is definitely desperation time for the Cowboys that need to get a victory. Now, I'm sitting here in my mind thinking about the trade situation, and came across that DeMarvion Overshown from practice. We sitting here, we talking about practice, not the games yet, because Overshown hasn't played any games since last December, where he destroyed his knee completely. Okay, we're talking ACL, PCL, MCL, any L's that you have left, he tore. But he's been back on the field practicing, and they've opened up the window for him to get back to playing. So, we're sitting here looking at two of the worst linebackers currently on the Dallas Cowboys. Not just on the Cowboys, but in the NFL. Kenneth Murray is the worst rated linebacker in football. Yeah. And Jack Sandbag, and that's right, I know it's Sandorn. I'm calling him Jack Sandbag. He's there, right there with them. And we have put a lot of hope and dreams and pressure on Overshown to save the season. And I can guarantee you that he wants to get out there. He's chomping at the bit, wanting to be out there. And so when you see DeMarvion Overshown going to the locker room with trainers, you literally say, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. It didn't look like anything serious. He was, walking to the locker room with the trainer. Could be that he's just going in to get retaped or whatever, or hopefully it's just something like that. Let's just hope that is. John Machota basically said, doesn't look serious. Well, when you have a guy who's coming back from his second knee injury after completely rebuilding his knee, and we're talking about a practice that's not padded, if you're going to the locker room for anything, it kind of scares the bejeebies out of me that what happens when we get on the field and we are going 100%. And I'm afraid we may be putting too much pressure on him, or too much hopes that he is going to be able to save us. I'm serious. That he is, Sonny, save the girl, okay? That literally, he's one man. Now, here's where you wonder, and I'm just on the fence here because, of course, the Cowboys are talking about trades here, trades at the last minute. Well, for me, instead of looking at trades at the last minute to try and save your season, maybe you should have thought about signing those players back before training camp, so that way they can know the system and all that. I think you're better off getting quality people before the trade deadline. That's just me. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. But instead of waiting till, we're going to go to the trade deadline and we're going to get the players and plug them in, and so they can work out all off season. Okay? The problems we've had didn't just arise this week that now all of a sudden you want to put out the fires. These problems have been there through training camp and the beginning of the season. Be that as it may, here's a real question. Do we have some solutions right now on the roster that will help us to be better? I'm asking a real question. Right now, Overshown probably, in the condition he is going to be better than what we're getting right now with our linebacker core. It has to be an improvement just right there. Does taking less reps for Sam Williams, who's had more reps at defensive end than anybody else on our team, and he is second worst edge rusher in football. Does having Clowney, who's now gotten into better shape, play more along with Donovan E.Z. and less Marshawn Nealon? Having those guys playing, is that an improvement for our defense? So you got better, hopefully, linebacker play, as well as better edge rushing play. And does getting somebody like Perrion Winfrey added to the mix help with the defensive line as opposed to Mazza? And when we look at it, do we say that a healthy Josh Butler helping in our secondary and getting back Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker at some point? Do you look at that and say, you're not going to be a top 5 defense with those moves? But do you look at it and say, maybe you go from 31st or 32nd to, the mid-20s? Because if you were in the mid-20s, you got a better chance than where we are right now. So hopefully, our Overshown that this run to the locker room is nothing, and that he is actually ready to come back, and that this isn't Michael Gallup or Trayvon Diggs, not just once but twice. I would hate to see him go out there right now because the Cowboys are desperate, and it ends up being a career-ending injury. You can't mess this knee up again. You can't. Because at this point, you have to start worrying about, is it just the point where it's too fragile? And a lot of that happens because they did come back too early. And I think it destroyed Michael Gallup's career, and it seems like it's destroying Diggs' career as well. Alrighty, so we'll be back and find out anything more on Overshown, headed to the locker room. And the Cowboys, to my point of saying maybe we'll be better with some of the stuff that we have, and they are talking about, maybe Jalen Tolbert's on the trade block. Maybe you don't need to make major moves to try and help improve the defense with the people that you do have coming back. It's a thought. Or you're better off saying we're just going to go ahead and do what we can with what we got, and we're going to roll the dice and see what happens, and we're going to pack it in for another day. Alrighty, good people, as always, I appreciate y'all, and hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.